Hello beautiful, welcome back and thanks for watching. Today I have 15 Amazon hidden gems, things that are best sellers, things you guys are gonna love, things that I love, I use regularly, I have repurchased because I lost the old one. Everything I am talking about is gonna be numbered up on screen and linked in the description bar and comment section, so it will be super easy to shop. And we'll go ahead and get started with number one, that is a repurchase because I lost my old one, can't find that thing anywhere. This stitch gun is the most fabulous thing that has ever existed in the history of time, especially if you are a larger chested girl. That was actually like I had a larger chest when I originally purchased this. And the reason why is because some shirts, they're just a hair too low, or they came in tacked and the tack completely came off. This is a little stitch gun that has a teeny tiny little needle, and you can take this and just stitch your top completely closed. It is super quick, and this one box comes with, I believe it's like 1,000 of these little stitches in black, and then also in, they say this is like white or clear. These are absolutely clear. Now, I did see that this is like a great sew free hack, which back when I bought it, I was like, oh, it would be fantastic because I don't know how to sew. Don't use this for sewing. Like, don't use this for a big project. This is just for those one-off little things. But again, if you're a larger chested girl, you know, you just break those little tacks on top sometimes. Sometimes you need just one thing stitched closed. This is so convenient. I'm going to keep it in my laundry room drawer now so that I know where it always is. It will not get misplaced again. Very convenient to have for those quick things that need fixing. Number two, you guys, I'm always gonna be a sock girl. I'll always share the best sock finds because they are not all made equal. But I'm someone who I just can't stand when my feet sweat in shoes, and I do like ballet flats more now than probably ever before, but there are some of them that I own that my feet are a little bit more prone to sweating in, and they don't when I have socks on. But yeah, it's very hard to put a sock with a ballet flat, and I found these that just barely cover your toe, but I do like that they actually have a little grip right here and in the heel. So there are some that I've purchased in the past where they would slide off of your foot, and that was really frustrating. These do not do that. They washed and dried like a dream. They fold up really small, but they work in ballet flats. So product number three, I feel like just makes toddler mom life a little bit easier. I remember back before I even had Ezra, I saw on a little like food for kids account on Instagram that children actually don't realize that if something looks different, it can still be the same. Meaning that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that looks like an Uncrustable versus just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you make yourself, they can't understand that those are the same thing because they look different. Well, Ezra has kind of grown out of that, but Roman's going through that phase right now. And I actually found this little Uncrustable like press on Amazon, and it is super convenient because also my boys don't like crusts on things, which I think is why they like Uncrustables. But you can make, you know, a ham and cheese sandwich. You can make all kinds of sandwiches, and then you just use this little press and it looks like an Uncrustable. So it gets the crust off, makes it look the same. You have less arguments. Yeah, that was something I had no idea about kids, but it is very true, and Roman's going through that phase right now, so this has been a godsend. Product number four, this like perfect mini starter sewing machine. My mom said, yes, I can teach you how to sew with just like a needle and some thread. She was like, but it's gonna be quicker to have a sewing machine, but I don't have one anymore. Hers used to be Mac Daddy, had all the bells and whistles. I didn't need that. However, every single dress that I buy these days has pockets, and some of them look really good, some of them don't. The pockets make the dress look bulky. So I'm gonna start cutting those bad boys out and just sewing the pockets up myself. So I needed something that was like easy, very, very easy, emphasis on that. Came with threads, you know, was kind of just like a good starter kit that just had everything, and I wasn't gonna end up buying a ton of stuff. This is that, but also because the sewing machine is so small, it just fits down in a little bag. I can tuck it away in a little cabinet, and it doesn't take up a ton of room. That was the other thing. My mom's sewing machine used to be like this big and was like 900 million pounds, and this one's just tiny. So it's good for just getting the job done, sewing, but it is, again, a little bit more for like you actually have a project, something you need to sew, versus that little tack gun that was number one that was just for like those little one-offs. Number five, why have I never tried these before? I don't know. These are the, I believe they're pronounced Rail Beauty. This is a miracle patch, microcrystal vitamin C dark spot cover. It says ideal for fading post blemish dark spots. Now, y'all know I am a mighty patch girl through and through. I don't have acne as much as I used to because I really kicked the bacterial acne part I do still get one-off bumps, but I find that that redness, that like just dark spot from a bump, hangs around a lot longer than the actual bump does, and it's annoying. Yeah, not anymore. I used this for the first time the other day, and I used 3 of them because I actually had 3 tiny little dark spots, like dark red spots that had just not gone away from tiny bumps that really didn't even get fully to the surface. Yeah, one night of these and they are completely gone. So what's really cool about these, I do love the packaging a little bit more than like the Hero, just because this is a little plastic like packaging, so you don't have to keep this if you don't want to. But these are significantly easier to get off, in my opinion, without like bending. But what you're actually gonna do with these, and I find it wild, you're going to put it on the little spot that's left over. Again, this is after the bump is gone. You put it on the little spot on your face, and then you press it in for 5 seconds. It's like prickly. It doesn't hurt by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a little prickly. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm just aware of it. Like usually I would put the like Hero Mighty Patch on and I would, you know, completely forget it's even there. But I was like aware that this was there. And then sure enough, after like a couple minutes, my brain completely forgot about it. Yeah, the next morning I woke up, completely gone. Completely gone, no sign of it, no sign of ever having a spot there. This is magic in a bag. So yes, get rid of the acne, you know, target whatever is causing it. I do still get those one-off breakouts, but it's the redness that hangs out, not anymore. I will be buying these in bulk from now on. Number 6, the rule goes, if you can't fix it in 5 minutes or with something in your purse, then don't even bring it to someone's attention. Something in someone's teeth, I literally can't focus on anything else, including my own, but I also really like to have fresh breath. There's just sometimes I like can feel something in my teeth. So I actually keep these in the car, and I can't believe I've never mentioned these to you guys. I used to keep them when I was working as a designer and I would go on calls with our salespeople because they would need to be, you know, looking perfect. They're trying to make a sale, so I would also need to look good. And you just would sometimes end up at a meeting after lunch. You don't want stank breath. So these actually have a little green dot on the inside. That is actually toothpaste. You are not going to need water for these. You are not going to need to rinse after. It is just like the perfect amount to just give your teeth a quick little brush, freshen your breath. There is a little pick at the end just in case you need to get something out. It's kind of gross, I know, but I would rather just have fresh breath and clean teeth and someone see me, you know, pick my teeth in the parking lot than go in and have something in my teeth. So I love this little 24 pack. It comes in this little plastic box, so you can just throw this right into your center console. Super easy, and it's just perfect for getting stuff out of your teeth. And again, I've said it 100 times, fresh breath. That is a huge pet peeve of mine. I can't stand stank breath. Number 7, my boys have not stopped. Now I feel like they're eating apples even more because this slicer makes the apple slices so much smaller than our other one. But this right here, being able to push that apple all the way through with this without having to use your fingers is an absolute game changer. So I think just like I did mention this to you guys just in a haul video the other day of like a ton of stuff that I have purchased, but now that I've used it over and over and over again, I really can give you a review. The quality of this is much, much nicer than the other one that I had, and I had that one for like over 10 years. So I am very impressed with how sturdy this feels, but just it's so much more safer, and you're a lot less likely to cut your hand using this apple slicer. Same thing, I mentioned this just in a haul video of a ton of stuff I purchased, and I've really gotten to use this now because the other day, I swear to you, I broke down 150 boxes. This little knife is sharp and it is not going to dull quickly, but I share this again because it's just very safe, because you have to keep your thumb on this the entire time to keep that blade out. And if you don't have it on there, then that is completely retracted, but you also have a really good grip on this, so you just have less chance of like cutting yourself. But I mean, it's tiny, so you also just have a less chance of cutting yourself in general. So very, very impressed with this the longer the time goes. I like think I'm gonna buy a couple because I do like to keep box cutters kind of around like everywhere, in the kitchen, in our laundry room, just in case, because I'm always opening something, and I find these to be very convenient. Number 9, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I feel like they have actually redesigned these and they're even better. So I had purchased some of these a long time ago from this exact brand. It looked just like this. I had one that had just one hook, and then I purchased one that had 2 hooks, and both of them they did get pretty weak pretty quick. This part specifically would kind of like stretch a little bit if your bag was too heavy. And I just needed other ones because mine were kind of weak. They were really stretched out. And I purchased this. When this came in, I was like, what is this? This is so much stronger and more sturdy than the other models that I ordered. Again, from this exact brand. So you put this little part right here over your headrest, and you actually can sit this in the seat. And I've had multiple people, including myself, sit in my passenger seat in the car and never even know that this was there. Or you can, put this in the back. You can hang book bags from this. You can hang tote bags, purses, whatever. It just keeps things off the floor, which I just really like because the floor just, of course, that's where feet go. It has a tendency to get dirty. So I keep this over the back side of my passenger seat, or it just faces frontward, just depending on if it gets knocked forward or back. And I really, really like how sturdy this is. It holds my purse. So yeah, redesigned. Really, really like it. Number 10, I told you guys I've been very into floral arrangements and just kind of making like at-home bouquets. And I recently shared a little floral cage that goes over the top of your vase, but this one actually goes in the vase, and I actually think I like this one a little bit more. So it's like an egg bouquet floral cage, I think is what it's actually called. So what I did the other day was I filled a really, really tall glass with water, and then I just dropped this down in there. And when I tell you, the second I put that flower stem in there, it was like I felt it just like hold on to it. And I think the whole arrangement was just so much easier to make. So whether you choose to put something over the top opening of your vase or in the vase, having one of these is just going to make making floral arrangements a lot easier. Number 11 is a repurchase. And if I have never shared these with you guys before, I am so sorry. These are erasable pens. We used these back when I was a designer, and I will never forget my first week in training. Everyone was like, okay, these are the things that you're gonna wanna order, because I also worked for an office supply company that also had a design department. And so you could just order whatever office supplies you needed, and they were like listing off, they're like, okay, you're gonna want this notebook, you're gonna want this, and you're gonna want the erasable pens. And I was like, wait, are they actually like erasable? Are they actually good? And they were like, girl, you're gonna fall in love with these. And not only did I fall in love with them, but even my husband fell in love with these because they actually do erase. So of course you don't wanna use them on like important documents. But I can't remember, one of the girls told me you can't leave them in your car when it's either really cold out or really hot, because it actually will make the pen stop working. And I can't remember which one it was. So these are indoor only. I don't like carry these around in my purse, but I absolutely love these because they are truly erasable pens. You cannot tell that you ever wrote anything. So of course, for the design aspect, it was very nice if you like messed up something, but just convenient to have. Number 12, the longer the time goes, the more I want to just talk about this with anybody and everybody who will listen, because I now will not walk to the mailbox if I do not have this on my phone. I will not go outside for 5 minutes without this, because this time of year, I'm wearing like really loose shorts or, just like an oversized shirt. I don't have pockets and I don't wanna hold my phone. So this actual plastic piece goes in the very back of your phone case. You take that little plastic piece and feed it through right there. And then you do put your phone. Now you will need a phone case. If you don't have a phone case, you will actually need one for this to work. But then you can hook this right here. This is an adjustable strap, and this hangs right by your side the whole time you're outside. It's so convenient, so easy to use. And I find that I even got my mom on this, and she was like, I won't even go out to the garden without this, because you just always need your phone. You never know. I wouldn't want something to happen and then I need to run inside and get my phone. So to have this is so convenient, but it's really high quality, really well made. Takes 0.3 seconds to put on, but it's super convenient too. Number 13, I did share this the other day, but I kind of want to give you guys like a little updated review situation here. So I, prior to this video, had only used just like regular slices of butter, and they fit totally fine down in here. They sliced with no problem. Good to go. Okay, then I bought Kerrygold butter from the store, which is my favorite, in the sticks. Those sticks are bigger than average sticks of butter. And maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's just the store, but I don't know. But just a little heads up, if you do get this absolutely amazing butter slicer, you will just kind of have to finagle the Kerrygold butter down a little bit more. Still fits fine, but just not as easy to get the top back on this. But this slices your butter into perfect little squares, which I find to be super easy because I use that over like a non-stick cooking spray. So I like being able to just pick a square up out of this and it's already done and I'm not having to cut the butter every time. But yeah, I guess Kerrygold's just slightly bigger if you buy the stick, so heads up on that. Number 14, I can also provide an extended review on this because I shared this a couple weeks ago. This is a bug bite suction tool. This thing is a godsend. Why have I never tried this before? I don't know. I've mentioned that when it comes to children, you kind of need to let them think this is a toy, play with it a little bit before you first use it on them. But Ezra got bit the other day when we went outside and it was just a disaster. And I was able to like really use this. You put it on the skin, push down, and then pull up and hold for about 30 seconds. It's going to suck your skin up in here. It does not hurt. And then make sure you push this little piece back down and then release, because that's how you're going to prevent yourself from getting like almost a hickey looking circle. I have done this tons of times on myself. My mom literally got 13 bug bites the other day, did not have one red looking hickey mark, and this got rid of 100% of the look and feel of the bug bites. So not only is this going to take away that itch, it is also going to take away the look of a bug bite. So I absolutely love this. You need to pull this piece off and like actually wash it. Although you'll never like see liquid up in here. It's a very strange thing, but it does work and get rid of them quickly. But I will say, just now that I have used this with my children, it can be kind of a weird thing when they're like all of a sudden super, super itchy and you're like, oh, here, let me come at you with this suction tool. So make sure that like, honestly, like buy two and let them kind of play with it and really be like, oh, this is a toy, because that just makes it less intimidating when it is time to get rid of a bug bite. And this also helps with bee stings. So very, very amazing. I have actually now purchased 4 because I keep one in every card just in case we ever get a bug bite, a bee sting, anything, I can take care of it ASAP. Now, number 15, some people don't like talking about periods. I've never minded, but number 15, I actually needed a repurchase. I originally purchased the Flex menstrual, I believe they're just called the discs, because the idea of using a menstrual cup and it being reusable, I could not wrap my mind around. So I do love that this company makes a menstrual disc that you could just toss in the trash, change it out like normal when you're on your period. Well, after time went on, I actually didn't mind it so much. I was like, all right, we're just gonna get the Flex menstrual cup. I absolutely love these. They have a few different styles, but it was just time to get another one. I clean mine religiously. They have a cleaner. I absolutely love these. I think that they are, you cannot fill them at all. They work better than anything else in my opinion. They're just the best. Well, in between the time that I was like, hey, I need another one, and it came in, I actually got my period last month and I had to use a tampon. Let me tell you something. I have pretty easy periods, but if you have cramps at all, I am almost positive it's because of tampons. Now, some people have things that go on with their health that maybe make cramps bad. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. But if you are someone who doesn't have any medical history that should have, you know, a really bad period, and you do have bad cramps, try a menstrual disc or a menstrual cup. And I'm telling you, your cramps will go away, because I was just like, oh, this thing cannot come fast enough. I had ordered it through Amazon because our store didn't, like our local drugstore didn't have them. And I was like, I have the worst cramps. Sure enough, came in the mail. And as soon as I put it in, my cramps completely went away. So hands down the best thing. Now, I do have a couple little things that I do to kind of help alleviate any issues with cramps in a period that I might have. But again, I have really easy periods for the most part. So yeah, just anything that I can do to definitely prevent aches and pains, I'm of course going to do. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any Amazon hidden gems. I love seeing what people find on Amazon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Click that subscribe button if you are new here. I love you more than you will ever know. Mwah. I'll see you guys in my next video.